All right, it's time for an eBay unboxing. What in the hell is this? Oof. Okay, I'm a little nervous about packaging of my fragile item. All right, so I always film these things and document them just in case the item arrives broken. Now, what I've noticed as of late, ever since I started making videos about these particular items, the prices are skyrocketing. I used to be able to get these things, one that's selling now for like $200-300. I was able to get them for like $40, $30, $50, and now for some reason, ever since I've been making videos, I think eBay resellers are watching my videos, and now I think I'm screwing myself. I shouldn't even be making these videos telling any of you what these things are actually worth and what have you, because now it's costing me more money. So I just so happened upon this in the middle of the night. Someone had just listed it, and hopefully this is actually what I think it is. But apparently they were not one of the sellers or flippers on eBay or resellers that saw one of my videos. So let's see if this is actually anything good. The pictures were quite fuzzy. The description was like barely non-existent. And okay, all right, so she put it in a jewelry box. That just looked a little messy on the outside. It's like in a cocoon. All right, so I sort of like, I spend some time thinking sometimes, why do I make these videos? Because if I'm making these videos and you guys are like resellers or flippers on eBay or Etsy or what have you, I'm going to end up costing myself more money by giving you knowledge. And what do I get from my channel? The only thing, friendship. I am friends with a lot of you. I look forward to your comments. You actually brighten up my day. But besides that, no monetary anything. I don't even do commercials on my channel. I made my channel non-monetized just so you don't have to sit through commercials. Now, if you do, let me know and I'll tell you how to avoid watching commercials. You get something for free called ad blocker, but I'm making zero. Now, there's a lady by the name of, probably all, if you watch my channel, you probably watch hers too, Dr. Lori. Now, Dr. Lori is pulling in at least 6 figures or close to $1 million doing videos like this. And I make zero, not even 1 cent. And so I'm starting to like say to myself, why am I doing this? I might end up screwing myself by making the values of these things go up because people are knowing what they are now. I don't know. You tell me in the comments below, is this all for nothing? All right. I mean, I understand a lot of you are learning things, but your learning things are costing me money. And I don't like paying much. All right. So, well, I don't have a deep pocketbook, to buy some of this stuff. Now, there's 2 items in the lot, and one of them I did not want at all. So I want to open that one first. So I'm checking to see which one is which. And the one item I figured I was going to actually throw into the garbage. Okay, it's this one. This is the item I want to throw into the garbage. And we'll find out why in a moment. So this item, I never, ever, ever wanted to ever collect in my life. It has no value to me, like zero value. Well, oh, wow, actually, it's quite beautiful. And yeah, so Lamage's porcelain. Now, it's a French porcelain. A lot of people think it's a brand. Lamage's is not a brand. It's a place in France that actually, let me just get this shiz out of the way. All right, it's a place in France that is well known for having many, many different manufacturers in porcelain. And so if you see something Lamage's, it's not a brand. Now, Lamage's has been around for a long, long time. I think as far back as the late 1700s, early 1800s, making porcelain products, not just pins like you see here, but we're talking about vases and dinner sets, dinnerware, figurines, anything made out of like porcelain. Lamage's made it. Now, the ones I don't like are the 20th century ones. 20th century Lamage's pieces are absolutely pointless to collect unless you just like cheap things. And the reasoning behind that is because the market is so flooded with Lamage's that if you want to collect something for an investment, it's not worth it. Now, this is real Lamage's, and this is what I was telling you about. Now, this is the antique Lamage's, the good stuff. And when I say the good stuff, I mean we're talking hand-painted And let's zoom on that. Okay, this is antique Limoges, or I mean Limoges. I used to call it Limoges before I looked up the pronunciation, but you can see each one of these plates is hand painted and very, very well done. Okay, Florenza, right? Here's a little bit about Florenza. So actually, the Florenza Jewelry Manufacturing Company was once a major industry player in New York. Was represented by Larry Kassoff, son of the founder Dan Kassoff. Florenza operated under the name Dan Kassoff Incorporated as a manufacturing industry and did not start marking its own production jewelry Florenza until around 1940 to 1950. It is important to note that the Dan Kassoff Corporation came into being in 1945, and before that, it was a company without the incorporated name. So that helps you to date things. The jewelry was not marked until Dan Kassoff found that the original sculptural expressions could be applied for to the Washington Copyright Office. It may have been earlier than 1948 when he began filing. Then there were 3 marks used. Florenza in script inside a circle was first used, then Florenza in block letters, and then an oval or rectangle, depending on the room, style of piece, and finish that was used. So let's try to date our brooch. Okay, so if you look close, it's Florenza in block letters with what appears to be possibly next to it a C for copyright. Don't know. No, it just says Florenza. Okay, interesting. Okay, so this is going to date our brooch now. Now we're going to know the date. So the second mark that was used, starting around 1948, he began filing. There were 3 marks used. Florenza in script outside of a circle. That was the first logo. Then Florenza in block letters in an oval or rectangle, depending on the room. Okay, interesting. All right, so we're going to date this brooch to the 50s. Now, what is our brooch worth? Very little, like I told you. Here's an example of Limoges, Florenza. This one, $79.99. This one, $33. This one, $33.90. Let's continue to check it out. $42 on Ruby Lane. Now, where's ours with the crown? Here we go. Ours with the crown, generally about $75. Some as much as $125, although I don't think this person's going to get the price for it. $33 on Mercari. And you can see there's loads of them. It's mass produced. And I think, in my opinion, mass produced garbage. What you might think is beautiful, I might think is garbage. And so you can see there's just loads of them to be had. Here's another one for $115. Don't think that person's going to get the price. $24 for this one. $78.50 for this one. I wouldn't pay 1 nickel for it. So you may say, oh my God, this is absolutely gorgeous, but this is just not my cup of tea. The reasoning is because it's not that old, number one. And number two, I like old Limoges. I like the hand-painted Limoges. The 20th century ones and mid-century ones, I don't really care for, and I'll show you why. Let's get a close-up. Do you see the transfer wear? Look at her hair. Do you see the tiny little dots on there? That is not hand painted. To me, that is mass produced garbage that was made for very cheap. Not worth it. You can just see a few little pieces of hand painting on it. Like she has little pearls, a little thing on her dress, and right there on the headband. But look at that, thousands of dot matrix. This was basically a decal made, churned out by the millions, sold to the masses, and worthless to me. All right, let's check out the other item. Now, the item I wanted was this. Now, I was hoping, let me just zoom out. I was hoping that this is an antique cameo. Now, I saw this in the lot for $25. Actually, she wanted $40. I offered her $25 and she took it. Oh my God. Oh my God, guys. I think this is a real antique cameo. So yes, this is absolutely a real antique cameo. Very, very high relief. Take a look at that. By the way, I oiled it. You're supposed to oil the shell. You will see some striations in there, those lines. That's not a crack. It's actually solid on the back as well. It's not broken through. But you can see, like, from the carving, it's like it goes on a slant, a perfect slant. It's just actually a natural striation. But oil your cameos with mineral oil. That actually helps to keep the shell preserved so it doesn't actually crack. So I thought immediately in the seller's pictures that this was going to be a woman. And I thought it was a bacchante, otherwise known as a maenad or one of Bacchanta, actually Bacchus, or the god Bacchus, or the god Dionysus, or Dionysus, I can't pronounce that right, one of his followers. I thought it was a female. And I actually looked at this closer. And I just did a little research, and I found out we have actually a male. So this is a man. And I don't have any men in my cameo collection. So now this makes this even more exciting. Now this is antique. What I noticed was that the pin back, or the pin in the back, was actually fixed at one time. So it was a more contemporary pin back was placed on it. I'll show you. So sometime, if you notice, the pin is a different color than the actual brooch. And by the way, I tested this. This happens to be actually 10 karat gold. Yes, it tested as gold, but this part, the pin part, doesn't test as gold. You can see this piece was soldered on, and it's sometime from the 30s that they did that. They soldered that pin back onto there. So yeah, this is really antique. Probably 1890s to about 1910, 1915, right around there. Okay, so then who the hell is this? If it's not a female goddess and it's a male goddess, well, who is it? Let's check out the clues. We see here ivy in the hair. And you see ivy and like a wreath of ivy, and the top of the hair is flat like a man. The hair is slightly long in the back. And yeah, this is actually a man. Who is it? So it's Antinous, the gay god. And I'm like, oh, I got a gay brooch. Okay, are brooches, can brooches be gay? I guess this one is. And so we have Antinous, the gay god. And yeah, here's Antinous over here to the right. And I always thought these were females. Every single time I saw this particular one with the laurel wreath in the hair, I thought this was a woman. And I thought maybe she was a little topless. But no, we have, yes, Antinous, the gay god. And what the hell is Antinous? By the way, he always carries like ivy in his hair. Well, now we learn. All right, we got Antinous, the gay god. And look at this. We have Antinous, the gay god, with rays coming out of him. Gay power. Gay power rays coming out of him. And, okay, so here's a whole article about Antinous, the gay god. And, why did women walk around with Antinous, the gay god, on their lapel? Well, apparently they did it to be sort of like anti-establishment. Like, hey, look at me, F you. I'm not going to go with the society's norms. I'm going to be a little bit naughty. And so here is Antinous, and here is Antinous, and yes, the gay god. So I am going to put Antinous away right now in his little cocoon that I stole from the dentist's office. Hey, I figured like this. I'm paying this bitch $30,000 to fix my teeth, and she won't even give me a discount. I could walk out with a plastic little display case. Come on, tell me. You guys have never, ever, ever gone to the doctor and take a tongue depressor when he's not looking. The minute they leave you in that room, you guys are like savages, ravaging his drawers or her drawers, looking for a free tongue depressor to take home. And so here we go. We're going to actually, oh, Antinous is upside down. Antinous, you are upside down. So actually we're going to place Antinous right side up. There we go. Antinous, now you are correctly placed into your stolen box from the dentist. Now I'm not a thief, but I figure once in a while you can take like a little thing like a tongue depressor or a little plastic case from the doctor's office. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Antinous, you are now, oh, there's a piece of schmutz. Antinous, now you are well displayed for your gayness. So this person writes, sometimes you find the most extraordinary things on eBay pertaining to Antinous. Well, I did. Apparently, I didn't know that he was the ambiguous gay god. And, okay, and the latest is a 19th century French pink conch shell Antinous cameo brooch in big letters in an ornate gold setting. Well, this person won it. The seller says it appears to be Antinous or Vertumnus, god of the bountiful gifts of nature in summertime, but it more likely is Antinous, Dionysus, since clusters of grapes are just visible through the leafy wreath. Antinous, Dionysus, is the god of wine and the rite and ritual frenzy and transformation and transcendent. I'm sorry, guys, I can't help myself. I'm an asshole. Okay. Beware of his flashing eye, his floating hair. Weave a circle around him thrice, and close your eyes in holy dread, for he, the ambiguous gay god. No, okay, that's it. Apparently, we know that there was an Antinous fad in the 18th and 19th century, and Victorians avidly read saucy novels about Hadrian the Emperor and Antinous. These novels often show up on eBay. Ooh, interesting. Another thing for me to collect. The story of hedonistic and unnatural sex, which ends in tragedy for a beautiful boy, was suitably romantic and prurient to appeal to uptight Victorians. So cameos and jewelry pertaining to Antinous were popular. Very interesting. The most gorgeous classical bod and face with a naughty story to go with it. What a conversation piece. Many fine ladies, even some gentlemen, dandies, and in quotes, wore Antinous cameos as brooches or rings. They were more sought after than ordinary cameos, and they still are. The starting bid is 395 pounds sterling, over 600 US dollars. It will be interesting to see how high the bidding goes. And here is Antinous. There's statues of him all over the world because his lover was Hadrian the Emperor. And Hadrian the Emperor had a horrible, awful, terrible wife. Apparently, there's some writings that he wrote about her that she was very difficult and very, very, very nasty and very mean. And she wouldn't give him any children. And it was very scandalous for an emperor not to be able to have children. And so he meets a little boy named Antinous. Apparently some Greek boy, and he falls in love with him, and it's sort of pedophilic, and it's sort of grossing me out, and I'm like, I ended up getting one of these brooches, yuck. And so apparently, he fell in love with a little boy named Antinous, and they were lovers, and God. And apparently, they claim Antinous drowned in denial. They were in denial, get it? And he sort of drowned, and I don't know if he committed suicide. He was probably like not wanting to be Hadrian's gay lover, and he had no choice because he was like his sex slave. And apparently Hadrian flipped out, went nuts when Antinous was found dead, and made him into sort of a god and put statues of him all over the world, monuments, statues, colosseums. He was everywhere expressed in statues. Really quite interesting. He was like besides himself with grief over the loss of Antinous, his lover. And here's yet another statue of Antinous with Hadrian. And Hadrian, gross, you pedophile bastard, you pedophile. This is a poor little boy. And so if you look at the laurel wreath in the hair. See, we got the ivy leaves right in the hair. Ivy leaves right in the hair. I think we got one in the same. Yup, we got our gay god right here. And so although it's not something that I'm interested in, it's actually an interesting brooch or cameo because now we got the gay god Antinous. I paid $25. I got another piece of junk that I'm going to probably just like throw in the junk drawer. And I got this really nifty case from the dentist's office when she wasn't looking. Really great. Next time I go back, I'm going to get another case. And what else did we learn? We learned that people are actually seeking out these Antinous cameos. We learned that this one is antique. I only got it for 25 doll hairs, which was like a huge, amazing bargain to find one of these and being real gold on top of it for 25 doll hairs. And then I get a bonus piece of junk, Lamage's pendant that I don't even want. If you want it, write it in the comments below. Just pay the shipping and I'll send it to you. All right, that's it. That's my story of the gay god and how I came upon it on eBay for 25 doll hairs. So long.